Hello, and welcome to Simple Steps to Healthier, More Balanced Living. I'm your host, Certified Health and Life Coach, Kathy Warrens, and this is episode 16, Coaching You into Action. Putting it all together, individualized and messy. Yes. So I'm hoping that this is the last episode. I think I've done the last 6 or 7 without my son doing the audio editing. So I appreciate your patience with the podcast, the last several episodes leading up to this episode, but I believe that he will be back editing beginning next week. So I'll have my fun intro and outro. But until then, we're doing another one just raw here, unedited. All right, so this is the last episode in a series of episodes on coaching you into action. Going to talk today about how it's both individualized and messy, and we're going to put it all together, everything that we've been talking about in this series. Wouldn't it be great to have something that was designed specifically for you and not the masses? A program that started off helping you where you are right now at your current level in your health and life or whatever, right now where you are in your weight, right now where you are in your stress level, right now where you are in not feeling comfortable in your body or not getting enough sleep, whatever you're struggling with right now or whatever you don't have. Wouldn't it be great if there were a program that started off helping you right where you are right now and carefully guiding you on the path that will work for your own needs? Not something done as a one-size-fits-all that you have to try to conform to. Something that you can get help with and support with when it gets hard. Someone to pick you up, dust you off, and hold space for you wherever you are. Someone that can see you as the person who gets results, who finally gets the results. Well, there is something designed just for you with your own needs and your own circumstances at the forefront. Someone to walk in it with you and to support you and guide you and collaborate with you daily if you want it. Someone to teach you and give you the tools to continue on your own journey once the program's over, that leaves you feeling confident in your ability to gently, intentionally, and successfully get the results you want and keep them. Someone to help you get to the state of being that is your best self while not striving for some fake perfection. Especially the last part, not striving for some fake perfection. Well, that's what I do for my clients. I am your coach, and my programs are individualized, which is why I've mentioned sometimes it's hard for me on the podcast. I do speak in general terms a lot because I work with my clients on whatever they want to work on, and we're breaking it down to be very individual. So the action steps look different. But I do try to provide examples for you, the listener, so that you can see yourself maybe in the similar situation. So my programs teach. They definitely have topics and themes around health and well-being, information on stress management and sleep and nutrition, all based on my own research into what the experts are saying. I like to read and gather information from reputable sources. So my programs do have, they're teaching you information, but information is not enough, right? You can Google information on your own. We want to make that information relevant for you so that you can pick and choose what will work for you. So my programs have themes and topics and tools and strategies, but how each person experiences that is unique to them. How each person is coached is unique to them. And this is my favorite thing about my business. I help my clients with what they want within their own circumstances, within their own life. Why? Because trying to fit into some pre-packaged, one-size-fits-all doesn't work. It's just that simple. This episode, like I said, is the final episode in the series where I've been talking about how I coach my clients into action. How do I coach my clients into action? Whether that's on a call with them or through texting that we do or in a video lesson delivered to their email. The most important thing is that it is individualized because no two people have the exact same circumstances. No two people have the exact same life. Two people can have a goal to lose weight, but how they are coached into specific action looks different for each of them, right? Two people can have a goal that they each want to get more energy, have more energy. How they are coached into specific action is likely different from each other. Two people can have the same goal of wanting to get better sleep, but how they are coached into specific action is different because those two people are different. They have different lives, they have different circumstances. Two people may have the same goal of wanting to add more healthy food to their diet, or get a new job, or relax more. You fill in the blank, right? But they are going to be coached into a specific action and thought that works in their own lives. So coaching you into action means that you get your own individual plan that works for you. We're developing that plan together. I'm guiding you as your coach. I know how to ask you the right kinds of questions. I know how to listen to you in a way that helps us get down to the nitty-gritty of what is actually going to work for you. Second, life gets messy sometimes, doesn't it? And we account for that when I'm coaching you. We're not trying to do all of these things inside a bubble where you're like, I don't know, I can't do this coaching program because I have a wedding in 3 weeks or something might come up. We're not saying that we have to control every other aspect of your life so that you can be in this container where everything is running smoothly. So now you can work on losing weight, getting more energy, sleeping better, feeling less stressed. No, we do it in the midst of the messiness of life because that's the only way that you're going to develop these lifestyle changes that feel good to you and your brain and to be able to maintain that. So yes, I encourage people when they're like, I don't know, 12 weeks is a long time. It is when you're thinking that for those 12 weeks, you have to have nothing messy happening in your life in order to show up for yourself, to try to lose that weight, get more energy, sleep better, whatever. I want you to join in the middle of your messy life. And we account for that when I'm coaching you, right? We don't live in la la land where everything always goes as planned. And that used to really throw me off, right? When I would try to do something. I'm like, okay, for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to, do this new workout, try this new eating plan. And then in my mind, it was like, okay, my regular life has to go on hold. This isn't going to be fun. I'm going to, I can't go out with friends. No, we want to do this in the middle of all the regular messy stuff. Because we can do the best planning, but then we have circumstances pop up that are out of our control. How we respond to these circumstances, how we respond to the messiness of our own lives determines our progress, right? My clients always get results because I coach them. My clients always get results because I coach them as individuals and in the middle of their messy lives. I give them tools and strategies to use to respond to their own messy life and its circumstance. So how do I do this? At the end of a module or a call, we use all the components of taking the right kind of action. We use all of the components of checking your thoughts And I haven't talked a lot about checking your thoughts on the podcast yet, but we will. And we use the components of getting accountability and support, right? My 3-step process, which is basically take the right kind of action, check your thoughts, and get the right kind of accountability and support. And I use this 3-step process to build healthier, more balanced lives in partnership with my clients, keeping it individualized and working through the messiness. So at the end of a module or a call or in a texting app, or when we're to that point where we're setting an action, I'm using all the things that I've been talking about the last several episodes. We're keeping it simple, a simple action. We're keeping it pleasurable. We're committing to doing the minimum. We're overcoming obstacles, setting up for success, getting curious, not judgmental. All of this happens seamlessly while I'm coaching you, while I'm prompting you if you're in a self-guided program to answer the questions. I have questions that I ask you to help you plan out the very best action for you to take in the next 7 days or in the next 2 weeks. So you're leaving that coaching interaction, you're coming away from that module with something specific for you that you're excited about doing. And then we just keep it on repeat, right? So we're not stepping back, getting overwhelmed with the big picture, but we're doing it in small chunks. Yes, I took that action for 7 days. Fantastic. Then I'm going to take that action for another 7 days. And maybe I add to that action. Maybe I tweak that action. I'm going to have those same thoughts for another 7 days. We keep it going week after week after week. And it's not hard and it's pleasurable. And before you know it, 6 or 7 weeks in, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing this. I'm doing this in the middle of my everyday life. And it's working for me because now it's been designed for me and not me trying to read the book or buy some other program online and try to make my life fit into it. So let's get into some examples. Let's say that after, taking one of my modules or talking about a different topic. So in my basic program, each week I'm providing information on things that can improve your sleep, a healthy way of eating, looking at energy-giving foods, simple ways to manage stress. So there's information that's coming at you that you're taking in, but then we are deciding what, if any, of that information you want to act on. You may have your own specific goal that doesn't have anything to do with listening to some of the information I'm sharing in the module, and that's fine. How we do one thing is how we do everything. And in that beginning program, you learn to see how all of these things come together for good. The food that you're eating, what you're doing in the day, how you're moving your body, when you're going to bed, it all starts coming together because not one thing is really isolated from the other. I digress. Anyway, you're getting some of this information. It's not overwhelming. It's curated information. And then I'm helping you figure out the best action for you based on whatever your goal is. So let's say that you want to exercise more and you really want to start walking again. You used to walk all the time and then life got messy, right? And you were just left on your own to try to keep that going and you lost it. That's another reason that having a coach or some kind of accountability and support is wonderful because I help you stay in the action that you want because you've got someone coaching you through it. You're not just left on your own. So let's say you want to start walking more. How are we going to coach you into action? So we're going to set a simple step for you. We're going to keep it pleasurable. We're going to do the minimum. We're going to talk about how you overcome obstacles, how we can set you up for success. So let's say you want to walk 2 times after work this week. That's keeping it simple and pleasurable. Let's say you're wanting overall to have more energy or lose some weight. So maybe keeping a simple and pleasurable action step towards that for the week is you are going to eat 2 energy-giving foods. And you know what energy-giving foods are because you've listened to the module and we've talked about that. Let's say that you want to relax more and try to get off your phone before bed. Maybe overall you want to work on your sleep. So we have a simple action step that's pleasurable that might be you're going to take a bath before bed instead of looking on your screens one night that week. So with the walking example, if we're saying, okay, I want to walk 2 times after work this week. That's simple. It's something we've decided is pleasurable for you, right? If you like walking. If you don't like walking, then we figure out another pleasurable action for you. Maybe it's riding your bike. Maybe it's doing a workout video, whatever. But we've landed on something simple and pleasurable. We've said you're only going to walk 2 times after work this week, even though eventually you might want to walk 5 times a week. We're going to start out with the minimum to keep your brain happy and to help you be successful. You're not going to end up with just the 2 times. You're going to start there. We're going to help you overcome obstacles, set you up for success. What might get in your way of walking 2 times after work this week? So we look ahead and think about that. Well, my kids have like all these activities going on. Okay, how and when can you schedule in your walk? Can you walk while your kid is at their softball practice and maybe you walk around instead of sitting in the van scrolling on your phone? Whatever it might be. And again, there's no judgment, but we're getting curious. How can we set you up for success to walk the 2 times that week? If you're eating 2 energy-giving foods in the next 7 days, we keep that simple. We've talked about what foods, you've already identified what foods give you energy. And we're going to start with the minimum because maybe you're used to eating pizza and takeout every day. So you're just going to pick 2 foods out of the whole week that give you energy. You're not going to always just stay there with those 2 foods, but we're going to start with that minimum. We're going to ask, what might get in your way of eating these energy-giving foods? Well, maybe I don't have them. Maybe they're not easily accessible. How can we get them and make them easily accessible? So breaking it down to even, okay, Monday after work, I'm going to go by the grocery store and buy 2 apples and, whatever. Whatever we do so that you have a plan to set yourself up for success. If you are wanting to stop being on your phone so much before you go to bed because maybe you're in my 6-week sleep coaching program and you've been listening to the information from the experts, and one of those is, if we can cut down on our screen time, that blue light before we go to bed, then that can help with our sleep. Or if we can get 15 minutes of sunlight in the morning, it does something to our eye. I can't explain it all here, but trust me, that helps with sleep, etc. So we're taking this information that maybe I'm giving you or that I've read from the experts, and we're figuring out an action that's going to work in your own life. So maybe you say, you know what, I do like scrolling on my phone before bed, but I also like taking baths, and I don't really do that anymore. So we are going to set an intentional, simple action step that you will take a bath before bed one night this week before scrolling through social media on your phone. We're going to keep it simple. That's simple to remember to do. Take a bath. We're going to keep it pleasurable. You have indicated that you actually like taking a bath. If you're someone that doesn't like taking baths, then and you're on the coaching call or in a coaching program, you're not going to take a bath just because the other person is. Maybe you're doing something else instead of your phone before bed that you like. And I've coached you as an individual in what that means for you, right? So that taking a bath before bed, how do we set yourself up for success, right? We have to be intentional because these things are not habits. You haven't been taking a bath before bed. You've been lying in bed on your TikTok or on your phone. And again, no judgment, but your goal is maybe to move away from that a night or 2 a week. So this is how we break it down to keep it simple, right? And pleasurable. When will you take a bath? What do you need to take a bath? So maybe your action step is, okay, Tuesday morning on my way to work, I'm going to stop by. I'm going to go to Bath and Body. I'm going to get my favorite bubble bath. Okay. So we're breaking it down into simple steps that you can do. Maybe you have to clean the bathtub. That's my obstacle. Like, even talking about this now, thinking about it, I'm like, yes, because I've been doing a lot of work right up until bed. And over time, that really does start to affect my sleep, being on screens and kind of being amped up and busy. And then I don't sleep. And then when I don't sleep, actually, there's a hormone that we block. That's a hunger hormone. When we don't get enough sleep, it affects our hormones, which affects how much we eat. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that, like, all of these lifestyle things we do affect each other. So losing weight, for example, is not just about what we're putting in our body, but it's about all these other things that we're doing too. Not sleeping can affect our weight, etc. So I don't give you a bunch of information to get you in overwhelm, but we slowly start to see that making some of these simple lifestyle changes, even in one area, like sleep, is going to spill over into your eating and your energy and your stress level and everything. So it's a good thing that it all works together. So for the bath example, we're thinking ahead. Like, if I'm sitting here thinking, yes, next week I'd like to take a bath 2 nights before I go to bed instead of working straight on my phone. But if I don't step back and get curious and think about what I need to do to set myself up for success, like clean the bathtub, then the night I said I was going to take my bath, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, look, my bathtub's dirty. I don't have any bubble bath. This didn't work. If that happens, that's okay, because when you listen to the module for the next week, if you're in the self-guided program, or if you're in my texting app in the self-guided program and I'm asking you how you did with your action step, or we're on a coaching call and I'm asking you how you did with your action step and you're like, I didn't do it. It's fine. We don't judge. We get curious, and you realize, like, okay, I didn't realize that the tub was so dirty, that I didn't have any of my bubble bath. Okay, so how can we set yourself up this week? This week, I'm going to schedule a time to clean out my tub, and I'm going to go get my favorite, bubble bath, etc. So this is how it works. It's not rocket science. It's simple and pleasurable and individualized. So we talk about the minimum that you can do, what will set you up for success, and then what happens if life got in the way and you didn't do it. That's where that follow-up call is helpful. That's where that accountability and support through the app is helpful. If you're taking a self-guided program and you haven't scheduled an actual weekly coaching call with me, that's okay. The self-guided program is effective because you're in our community app where you're getting coached from me through the app, and I'm asking, how's it going? How's your action step? And you're reporting on that. That piece is so important. And when we're not in a program, or we just purchase something that doesn't have that virtual coaching, if you will, or accountability and support, we're just left on our own, and it's really hard to do that. I'm a pretty determined person, and I have a lot of experience setting goals for people, etc. But when I try to do things alone and have stopped self-coaching, or I buy a program or a book or something, self-help, I fizzle out too if I don't have that accountability and support in the beginning, or if I'm not self-coaching. So I'll talk about what self-coaching is in future episodes, but self-coaching is when you get to the point where I have taught you how to do this. You've experienced the success from this coaching model that I use, and you're able to continue in this action on your own, which happens with a lot of my clients who have coached with me for years. They'll be on their own and be doing great. And then they'll reach back out to me and say, you know what, I've started slipping into this, or now I want to work on this extra thing. And they'll come into a program with me. I'll coach them. I'll give them some tools. They'll get back into that self-coaching. Like, yes, I am the person that does this. I show up for myself. This is easy. And then they go on and they're just fine on their own. And then maybe they come back in 6 months or a year. So this coaching you into action, it's individualized, It's within the messiness of your real world life. That's why it works, actually, because it works in your own life, not your neighbors, not your retired friends, right? For a long time, I used to think, I can't get all this together because I work a full-time job. That's just an excuse. You can get it all together, even if you work a full-time job or you have young kids or you're taking care of your elderly parents. It doesn't matter. We work within your own individual life. I've worked with a lot of professionals who are like, you know what? I don't even have time for lunch. I'm busy. I do this and that. That's fine. We start where they are and we move within their own lives. So I'm never going to coach you into an action step that's not going to work for your individual life. Where the success happens is that you stay in this action long enough for it to produce the results you want. You stay in this action week after week, tweaking it as we need to until you start to get the results that happen from taking this action long enough, because you have the accountability, because you have the support, because you have the coaching. Keeping it simple, pleasurable, starting out with the minimum, overcoming obstacles, setting you up for success, and getting curious without judging. All of this comes together nicely, and it fits into every aspect of my program. If you would like to learn more, or you'd like to take my free training, which is a 50-minute training on all of these concepts, just in a 50-minute, here's everything and how it works. It's a free online workshop that you can take anytime. It will be delivered to your email, and I would recommend you go out and grab that right now by going to coachingcanhelp.com. coachingcanhelp.com. I will see you in that free workshop, and I will catch you next week on the podcast where I will have Luke editing again, and we'll have some of our catchy music. Until then, keep it simple, keep it real.